Viewers' discretion advised. This video discusses fictional content that includes scenes of graphic violence, disturbing imagery, and mature themes. It is intended for mature audiences only. When society collapses, it doesn't always begin with a bang. Sometimes it starts with whispers, emergency broadcasts that cut off too soon, unspoken fear behind locked doors, and the silent tension between what was normal and what can't be undone. Dead Days is not just a story about the undead, it's about isolation, about love that refuses to die, about the strange ways we stay human when everything else rots away. Through vivid artwork and emotionally charged storytelling, Day brings us into the mind of a boy who won't let go, a girl who found her voice again, and a city consumed by madness. This is a story of how they held on. The story opens in Seoul, South Korea, just 4 days since the outbreak began. But the world already looks like it's ending. The sky is thick with orange ash, swirling like a sunset in flames. Buildings smolder. Sirens wail in the distance, sometimes cut short. 3 days earlier, an emergency broadcast flooded televisions and phones. Citizens are advised to remain indoors after 12:25. Avoid all major roads. Multiple cities are experiencing large-scale traffic collisions and explosions. The announcement didn't give answers, just warnings. Theories spread like wildfire. Some said it was a terrorist attack. Others thought it was a mass hysteria or even some form of psychosis sweeping across the population. Then the doctors spoke. What they discovered chilled everyone. A virus attacking the frontal lobe, destroying parts of the brain responsible for judgment and mobility. The result? Hyperaggression, loss of speech, unpredictable behavior. The worst of all, it's highly contagious. The government deployed soldiers into the streets with a single directive: contain the outbreak at all costs. But by the time boots hit the ground, the streets were already lost. This is where we meet 16-year-old Jingook, alone, trapped, with a nightmare outside his door and something worse inside his home. Day 3 of the outbreak, another emergency broadcast blares through. This one more grim than the last. All gas and electricity services will temporarily be halted due to uncontrollable fires and explosions citywide. Then, static. The screen goes black. No more updates. No more broadcasts, no more help. The final threads of order have snapped, and society begins its descent into chaos. Jingook hasn't stepped outside in days, and he can't, because behind the thin wall of his apartment, his mother is infected. She used to make him breakfast. Now she stares blankly at the wall, her breathing uneven, her posture stiff. Every moment is a gamble. She hasn't attacked him yet, but every creak in the floorboards, every whisper of movement, Jingook braces for it. He's surviving hour by hour, waiting for a rescue team that may never come. And in the quiet, Jingook dreams, but not of salvation, but of nightmares. Visceral, grotesque dreams where he's being hunted by the undead. Day's artwork twists these scenes with distorted faces, smeared shadows, and almost suffocating darkness. The line between dream and reality blurs, and Jingook's mind, already teetering, begins to fracture. He's not just a prisoner in his home, he's a prisoner in his own mind. To survive the present, Jingook drifts into the past. He clings to happier memories, like the recent day his family took pictures together, his father, his mother, and his sister, smiling in front of the camera, pretending that the world outside was still normal. The last time he saw them, his father and sister were heading to work. His father gently ruffled his hair and said, "This all will blow over in a few days, son." This was the last time he saw them. Now, Jingook stands on the balcony, staring out at the hollow remnants of the world. He watches people, normal people, plunge from their windows in panic or desperation. The streets below, crawling with infected. And he notices something else too. something chilling. The zombies respond to sound. Even a slight noise triggers a frenzy. They listen, and Jingook listens back, taking notes, studying their patterns. Because when you're trapped with the monster, you either count the seconds until you die, or you study the monster, and you plan your escape. Jingook begins to catalog everything. Every grunt, every movement, every odd behavior the zombies display. His notebook becomes his only tool. He logs their hypersensitivity to sound, notes how they stagger and move at top speed when they see something they need. He charts how long it takes them to respond to certain noises. Information becomes power, but time is not on his side. His food is running low, his electricity is already gone. The water, barely a trickle now. He's surviving on crumbs, clinging to routine that grows more and more hopeless by the hour. Escape seems impossible. He's on the 5th floor of his building too, way too high to jump and too dangerous to try anything else. He eats the last of his food, very slowly, deliberately, like it's sacred. And then the most awkward moment in the apocalypse. Jingook, out of options, uses a bucket to relieve himself. He thinks he's alone, unseen, until a voice, or rather a sign, calls him out. Across the street, a handwritten message appears from another apartment window. "Help me." He freezes, mortified. A girl watching him. His cheeks turn red. He rushes to clean up, fumbling with the bucket, nearly spilling it. This strange, humiliating moment becomes the spark of something unexpected. Human connection. Even in the most ridiculous circumstances, someone's watching, and someone's laughing. Jingook scrambles. He grabs paper and scribbles a message. "Help me." He tapes it to the balcony. Across the street, the girl, just a silhouette before, reveals herself with another note. "Don't copy me, poo face." It's the first moment of light in days. A smile and, well, embarrassment forms on Jingook's face. Even at the end of the world, there's still room for humor. Still room for human connection. They exchange messages, one paper sign at a time. Jingook asks her age. She replies 17. Trying to be slick, he lies and says 18. And she calls his bluff. As he's wondering how, she replies, "Uniform." She saw right through him. She's been watching. And yet, despite the teasing, she does something that changes everything. She asks him if he's hungry, and then tells him to step back. She shoots an arrow with impeccable precision, straight through his apartment, piercing his pillow, with a line attached to it, and a basket. And inside that basket is a small package of food. She saved him, not with a weapon, but with compassion. The panel dims. The colors fade to warm hues. We're pulled into the past. Her name is Huiyan Lee. Once she was destined to follow in her mother's footsteps, an Olympic silver medalist in archery. A legacy, a future, all mapped out. But dreams, when forced upon you, become chains. On the day of an important competition, Huiyan failed. She missed her target. Her mother's reaction? You lost. No comfort, no understanding, only expectations. That same day, her birthday, she gets a text from friends. "Happy birthday, let's celebrate." But when she tells her mother she wants to meet them, she's met with scorn and distaste. Huiyan asks, "Do you even know what today is?" Her mom replies, "It's the day I gave birth to you, and the day you threw away your career." Huiyan can't take it anymore. The car door swings open, tears in her eyes. She steps into traffic and yells back, "I want to live my own life." And then impact. The truck hits her. Her body crumbles to the ground. Her mother, speechless for once. The criticism stops because Huiyan is silent. She survived. The doctors say it's a miracle. But there's a cost, aphasia, loss of speech. She can't talk, and the damage may be permanent. Still, her mother is unmoved. There are handicapped archers too. She can still train. Even the doctors look at her with disgust, but Huion can't fight back. Her body's recovering. Her mind is fragile. She's confined to her room, alone, bruised, paralyzed by the waist down, and mute. She watches the days pass, outbreak begins, the world collapse, and then one day, she's on the balcony, and she sees someone across the street, a boy. Embarrassedly holding a bucket, she smiles. For the first time in a long time, she smiles, and she raises her bow. She ties a line to it and fires a connection. Drawn through the air, food passes, words follow, not spoken but felt. This is the beginning of something extraordinary. In a world where face-to-face contact could be difficult, two strangers found a way to communicate. The line between their balconies became more than a lifeline. It became a connection. Jingook and Huion began exchanging messages tucked inside the basket. Short introductions at first, names, ages, nervous jokes. He learned she was 17. She teased him for lying about being 18. They laughed across the void between them, not with sound but with ink and paper. And for that moment, they didn't feel alone. Each letter became a journal entry, a confessional, a spark of light in the darkness. And just as this gentle rhythm begins to settle in, a new figure enters the scene. On the fiery streets below, a man appears, clad in riot gear. He looks like a soldier or some law enforcement, shield in one hand, calmness in the other. A single coin drops from his fingers. Clink, the sound draws the attention of the affected. Growling, shuffling, the man doesn't flinch. Instead, he raises his gun and fires a single clean shot. The head explodes. The detail in the panel is brutal. Day spares nothing. Bone, blood, and splatter. But the man doesn't panic. Instead, he pulls another surprise. As a horde of zombies are rushing towards him, he throws money, actual currency, and the zombies go for it. They abandon him, clawing and crawling towards the scattered bills. As he walks off, two nearby survivors follow in tow. For their best chance of survival, they stick with him. Inside a nearby car, windows fogged with fear, two men crouch low. They're survivors, barely, and they've witnessed something unthinkable. This armored man, this coin-tossing stranger, handling the undead with precision and calm. They don't hesitate. They decide, follow him. Because right now, he's not just a man with a gun. He's their best shot at survival. As they trail behind him through the wreckage of the city, we focus to another revelation, another list. Jingook, still tucked away in his 5th floor apartment, has continued documenting the infected. The day's panels are careful, so careful to show us the nuance. These aren't your typical zombies. Sure, they bite, they chase, they kill. They also hesitate. They react to sound, they move faster and heat, slower and cold. They seem to remember something. The most chilling of all, there's a recorded case of someone bitten and not turning. 24 hours later, they were still eating. What does that mean? Is there a mutation, a delay in the transformation, or are the rules we still don't understand? And that armored man, the one tossing coins, he seems to understand them more than anyone. He's not scared, he's calculating. And the undead don't just fear him, they obey the distraction he gives. Maybe these creatures aren't as mindless as we think. Maybe, just maybe, there's still something human left inside. Or worse, maybe what's broken isn't the virus. Maybe it's us. In a world that feels colder by the hour, somehow Jingook and Huion have carved out a flicker of warmth. Two souls separated by distance and danger, but tethered by a clothesline and a shared desperation to feel something again. Every day by now, the little basket swings between their balconies, carrying messages, questions, pieces of themselves. They've never seen each other in person, but they see each other. And when you've lost everything, that is everything. In one exchange, Hyeon asks Jingook a simple question: what his dreams are before all of this. Jingook hesitates, then writes back, "I wanted to be a singer, or maybe a composer." He chuckles at the thought, a dream that feels so distant now, like another life. Then he guesses shyly, "You must be an archer, right? Based on your aim?" The silence after that message lingers. It's not a silence from across the street, it's a silence from somewhere deeper. Because for mine, archery isn't a dream, it's a womb. A burden passed down by a mother who never saw her daughter, only her legacy. "I never had a dream of my own," she writes slowly. "Only one that was given to me. And now, with the world ending, she wonders if she'll ever have the chance to find one." Then, unexpectedly, she sends a photo. It's her, beautiful, quiet strength captured in a single frame. And on the back, her birthday, tomorrow. Jingook stares at it for a long time, then he smiles and sends his own photo in return. She replies with a single note. Their connection, born in silence, grows in chaos, is now something more. Not quite love yet, but something just as powerful. Hope. Night falls over the crumbling city of Seoul, but in one corner of the darkness, something gentle stirs. Jingook can't sleep. His thoughts are racing, not with fear, but with anticipation. Tomorrow's her birthday, and in a world where death knocks louder than joy, he wants to give her something real, something meaningful. He rifles through his belongings and finds a cassette tape, a relic of the past. He presses record, and then he sings. Softly, shakily at first, but with heart. "For your birthday, I wanted to give you a piece of my world." The melody carries through the air like a secret between hearts. It's not perfect, but it's full of soul. And she hears it. She presses the tape close to her chest, holding it like a last gift the world will ever give her. Her eyes well with tears. Then with a trembling body, she opens the window, and for the first time since her accident, she speaks. Her voice cracks, it shakes, but it is hers. "Thank you." That single word cuts through the emptiness like a flame in a storm. It's the sound of someone rediscovering their voice, not just literally, but spiritually. And then Jingook sees it. A flicker of light on the rooftop of her building. Hope. Are there survivors? The camera pans up in Day's panel, and we see them. 3 men, 2 brothers, and a man in riot gear. The same man from before, Bindo. He hears her cry of gratitude. His ears perk up, his eyes narrow, and slowly they begin to descend towards her and Jingook. They don't know it yet, but what's coming isn't salvation. It's something darker, and it's walking down the stairs. The morning sun rises over Seoul, but it brings no comfort. It's now day 6 in the infection. The city isn't just quiet, it's hollow. Jingook wakes up to find a package waiting in the basket. It's not food, it's a knife. Alongside it, a message from Hyeon. "If you're going to leave, you'll need this." Jingook stares at the weapon and the implications that come with it. She's right, of course, but still, he shakes his head. He writes back, "I can't kill anyone. I still believe a rescue team will come. There will be a cure." He's clinging to hope like a lifeline, even as the line starts to fray. Jingook tells Hyeon that he saw a light on the 12th floor of her building. Maybe survivors, maybe help. He suggests she climbs up and asks for assistance, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know she can't, that her body, still healing, still recovering, won't carry her that far. There's a pause. Then she replies, "I'll try." But that's not all she says. She writes something else, something cold and something heavy. "Lure your mom out onto the balcony. I'll take the shot." Jingook drops the message. His breath catches his throat. Kill his mother? Even like this, even after what she's become, that's a line he can't cross. His mother's eyes may be gone, but in his heart, he still sees her smile. He throws the knife from the window, lets it fall. No, he writes back, never like that. Rain begins to fall, and outside the cloud thickens. The first rain since the infection. A storm is brewing, not just in the sky, but within their crumbling connection. Night falls again, and with it, the sky weeps. The first storm since the outbreak. Rain crashes down like a cleansing ritual over a city far too gone. Huion, from her balcony, watches it, sees something. A group of men, slowly approaching through the streets. They move with purpose. Two brothers, ragged but alert, and the man in riot gear, Bindo, the same man who tossed coins before, the same one who didn't run. Now he walks calmly among the infected. But something's different. The zombies are slower. Is it the thunder, the vibration in the air, or the sensation of water against their decaying flesh? It's quite unclear, but Jingook sees it too. From his window, he watches them make their way down the road. Hope ignites. He rushes to the linen from his bedroom and waves it like a flag outside the balcony. A silent cry. The men glance up, and just like that, thunder cracks. The infected turn. Dozens of them. They begin to move towards the sound, towards the scent, towards the living. But the men are prepared. Bindo calmly reaches into his satchel and tosses coins onto the pavement. Once again, the undead freeze. Then they swarm, not towards the men, but towards the coins. It's bizarre, it's unnerving. Even the zombies seem drawn to value. Huion sees this too. She quickly relays the observation to Jingook through their note system. The coins, they're a distraction, but Jingook is too focused now, too determined. He needs to let them in, needs to find a way to open the door without being torn apart by his mother. His eyes land on his piggy bank. A plan begins to form. Down below, chaos brews. One of the brothers is bitten, but he doesn't turn. Another mystery, another unanswered question about the virus. The men fight their way forward, led by Bindo, whose ruthlessness is becoming clearer with every step. Finally, they reach Jingook's building. They breach the door. Jingook tosses the coins from his piggy bank across the hall. They scatter like seeds, and just like before, his mother follows. The clinking draws her away, but just as one of the men steps through, she lunges. Bindo raises his weapon and shoots Jingook's mother in the head. Just like that. Jingook is stunned. He couldn't stop it. He couldn't protect her, even though she was already gone. The atmosphere is tense. The rain slows. Distant thunder echoes through the city. The body lies still. Jingook's mother, what was left of her, now motionless in a pool of blood and silence. And yet, it's not over, because the men weren't here to save him. They're not rescue. They're not hope. They're just survivors. Hungry, tired, and ruthless. And Bindo? He's something entirely. As the others begin to rummage through the apartment for supplies, Bindo steps closer. Gun still warm, eyes cold. I heard a voice, he says. A woman's voice last night. He presses the barrel of the pistol to Jingook's face. There's no empathy in his voice, no apology, only curiosity, twisted hunger. He repeats the exact words Huion screamed the night before. Thank you. It sends chills through Jingook. Bindo isn't here for food. He's here because he heard something beautiful, and in a world so rotted, beauty is something to own. Jingook doesn't respond, so Bindo digs deeper. He eyes the family photo on the shelf and points at Jingook's sister. She looks like she had a pretty mouth. The insult isn't just crude, it's intentional. It's a test. And Jingook fails because his rage bubbles beneath his skin. Still, he says nothing. Bindo turns his gaze towards the hallway. The others, silent, awkward, still rummaging through the apartment, watch the confrontation. They want to help Jingook, but they don't, because Bindo is their lifeline, their protector, their devil. Bindo starts to snoop around the apartment. He rummages and then finds letters, notes exchanged between Huion and Jingook. His suspicions grow sharper. He knows now there's a girl, and he wants her. Jingook's heart pounds. He thinks fast. He tries to block the door to his bedroom, the one with the basket system still attached to the balcony. But Bindo pushes past and sees it. He sees the fear in the kid, and then he finds it, the string, the pulley system, proof. As he approaches it, hand reaching for the line, Jingook lunges. piggy bank in hand, every ounce of strength behind it. But before he makes contact, the story ends. As the days bleed together in this dying world, we watch a scared, isolated teenager grow into a quiet symbol of resilience. Jingook, trapped in a high-rise tomb, faced the starvation, loss, and a creeping madness fueled by isolation. But through cracked windows and scribbled messages, he found something rare, a connection, not just survival, but hope. Through the darkness, Huan Lee's silent strength pierced through. A girl broken by her past, bound by trauma, yet armed with the will to help keep someone else alive. Together, they built a lifeline, one thread, one basket, one dream at a time. But in the world of dead days, salvation doesn't come wrapped in a rescue team. It comes wearing a badge and holding a gun. Bindo, the man who should have been a protector, revealed himself as a predator, twisted by the apocalypse, no longer governed by law, but by desire and domination. And in the moment of sheer desperation, Jingook made a move. A piggy bank, a silent scream through scattered porcelain, not just to defend himself, but to protect her, the girl across the street, the one bright thread in a city swallowed up by rot. And as Bindo discovers the clues as he presses closer to the truth, Jingook lunges. No weapon, no backup, just raw instinct. And we're left in the static hum of a broken world where love and danger now share the same apartment walls. The question now isn't whether Jingook can survive, it's whether he can keep Huan a secret long enough to make her survival matter too. If this story gripped you like it did me, if you felt the fear, the heartbreak, the flicker of hope in the middle of chaos, then do me one favor. Hit that like button and keep the series alive. Subscribe so you never miss what happens in this next emotional ride through the apocalypse, and drop a comment below. Tell me, what would you do in Jingook's shoes? Would you risk it all for someone you've never even met? We're just getting started here. More stories, more survival, more of that groovy senpai energy you know and love. Until next time, stay groovy.